All right, we're back. Game number 2 in this best of 5 of the Korean group for the Ting Open. Man, I watched the late game segment yesterday. In Control kept calling it the Ting Invitational, and now I keep doing that by mistake.
Well,
But this tournament had little to no invites, of course. Well, no, excuse me. It had little invites, but most of these invites all had to do with people from the qualifiers just coming back for a chance to redeem themselves. And I do want to remind everybody, by the way, it was Patience and... Actually, no, it was not live because we had to swap the players around in groups. That's right. But Patience was one of the players who had to come back, so he's in the winners waiting for one of these two to play. I'll talk more about the scheduling and all this other stuff in a second, but in the bottom left side of the map, it's going to be the Red Terran player aLive.
the top right as the blue Terran player, he's Reality.
Again, those drops were so sick. I cannot think of a lot of players who, in that position, down on tech, getting turtled in, would think to take that risk, but that risk won him the game just straight up.
Mm-hmm.
And aLive certainly wasn't expecting that either. But speaking of that, normally we would go to the losers bracket after this, so we wouldn't see Patience necessarily play next. However, if aLive wins the series, we'll go to the winners match. If aLive loses the series, we're going to the losers match. And all of this is to hopefully help accommodate his schedule with the Cybet Race Wars, which will be taking place very soon as well. Because, again, we're trying our best to make sure that there's as little conflict in this as possible, because we love trying to help everybody out. We don't want to hinder aLive.
What exactly is Cybet? Like, I know it's supposed to start at 10, but they're doing like an Archon show match, aren't they?
They're doing a best of 7 Archon show match, but I also don't see them on the Team Liquid calendar, so I don't know, actually. Maybe it won't be a problem at all, even though we thought it would be. aLive told us it would be, at least, but if it's not, then it's not, and everyone is so much the better for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. How was the late game, by the way? Obviously, we were casting during it, so I guess you watched the VOD.
I just watched a segment where they went over the sort of stuff, and I don't know. There was a couple of points I agreed with, a couple of points I didn't agree with. I don't know. It was a pretty, it was there.
I know that you were like joking about like, was there any shows left over, and the big deal is why like there seems to be disappearance of shows. Of course, Remax got canceled or whatever you want to call it, and then the late game happened so late that even a North American like myself never anticipates it being on at like 8 p.m. I think it comes on for Eastern. Like it's pretty late.
Oh, this reminds me. Thank you for bringing that up. We have that poll running, and I'm reminded because Penguin was one of the guests on last night, and I think he won the vote-in for that last spot for the Ting wildcard group.
It's gonna be some. That might be the shortest group ever. Or how they all play their ZVZs.
I'll tell you, it's the one I don't want to cast the most. Yeah, it was 48% for Penguin, 17% for Realmer, and 35% for Healer. So it is going to be an entirely ZVZ group. Funny enough, though, I actually think Penguin might have a chance to beat Raynor and Solo to come second place in that group.
Oh, yeah. I believe he can. He's actually been looking quite good, defeating some very notable names in ZVZ, too. So, Pig, Teffel. Not looking so bad. But this game has actually started to kind of develop, I guess. The Reaper gets in here, gets a scout, gets a lot of lost mining time. But we'll dive. We have Reality going for the Viking, and I guess a Siege Tank from the Tech Lab eventually. But aLive going for a Cyclone and a Medevac, which is a very odd combination of units.
So, I mean, a Cyclone, though, like, in general is not. Like, you want a Cyclone. It is, we've talked about it so many times. In TvT, more than any other matchup, it is your mothership core. It is your crazy defensive unit that can stop most things. But to have this be the follow-up instead of, like, the rush to, that is a bit weird.
Yeah, it's just the, it looked like he only had 2 Marines and a Widowmine, but he did pick up the rest of the Marines. So having something at home in case they drop as well to defend, plus he's got the Viking right afterwards, that makes more sense. The Medevac drop will commence here, and Reality does have his own Viking, so it's going to catch it and shoot away. No, Viking, don't fall for it! Okay.
He didn't. Okay. Alright, so Siege Tank sieges up here, and if the drop does land, unfortunately, it will not get a lot of damage done. And for aLive, this is not going to be super hot.
This is really odd from Reality, in my opinion anyways. So, he actually bothered to use his factory as a reactor maker for barracks. Not even get to, like, medevacs quicker, but to get more Marines. And then swaps it back to his tech lab. That's so weird. Usually you want to exactly prioritize tanks, but if you have a tech lab, you're usually not going to swap the factory off of it.
I guess the thought on this is that you make the one tank defensively, and you're dumping that gas then into a stim pack and combat shells +1. You're not pumping out 2 or 3 tanks that fast, so maybe that's why. It's not. I don't think it's that hugely influential, but that's a good note. I wouldn't have caught that.
It's just odd. It is not really usually influential at all, but oh well. Reality does get, they both get 30C on location actually, and they both have very similar stim timings. Reality is a little ahead on an upgrade, but aLive has double Dream Base, so he's gonna catch up.
I have people tweeting at me, by the way, asking if they can buy this shirt. Unfortunately, unless Parting and Patience want to give me permission to sell their faces, this shirt's not for sale. It was something I just made for myself to be a bit silly.
So gross.
This was this was the grossest waste of $50 I've ever spent in my entire life.
Fried chicken just is always seemed really gross to me. Like it's delicious. That's not why it's gross. It's just, I guess it's like it's oily. I guess like I never want to imagine eating it.
Popeyes, man, Popeyes. I want to go back to the East Coast just for Popeyes. Oh my God, do they have it in Austin, Texas? Do you think?
I'm pretty sure they would.
Then I know where we're eating for every
South,
single day.
And it's America. Like it's really popular in America.
When we go to DreamHack, I know where I'm eating every single day.
Dude, there's gonna be like barbecue, like regular barbecue too.
Do not care.
Really?
I get a barbecue anywhere, man. Popeye's chicken is not
I'm really
available
excited
on the
for
West
Texas
Coast Canada.
barbecue. And apparently, who is it that keeps offering to buy us? Which one of our mods is from Texas?
Mr. Boris Makarov. How
Oh
can you
yeah,
forget
okay,
this?
Mr. Boris Makarov. I'm sorry.
Mr. Boris, whenever you watch the VOD,
Dang.
please know that I am not associated with her and I do not represent Zambrigov's views and opinions.
Shut up. I was gonna thank him, but now it's whatever.
Okay, the attack setup here on the left side might not be able to squeeze into the base, but these double drops might. Reality doesn't have a lot of potency through this. This isn't like the 16 Marines he brought last time, but that tank in a good position can certainly get some shots fired. So he's going to boost over here on the left side and hope to distract. Maybe, yep, aLive's going to actually counter drop to deal with this. Psych! 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 Double psych!
Psych!
Triple psych!
Just kidding, bro.
It's a prank! It's a prank!
This is all a prank on top of a prank because I'm actually attacking the main base.
Yeah.
Oh, wait! Okay.
Wait, what just... Oh, the depot was under the tank.
Yeah.
I thought he was targeting his tank for a second, and I was just like, for fuck's sake, Reality, why would you do that?
Ah, he's not gonna save it. Oh my God.
He is gonna save it. Zambrigo, please.
You can admit, like, that thing was dead.
That thing... Yeah, that tank... Okay, it looked like it died because he targeted the depot under it. Then it looked like it was gonna die because of the pickup. Like, this tank is an anomaly, is what this is. An enigma, if you will.
Okay.
Watch,
so
you know what's gonna happen next, though, right?
What?
The tank's gonna drop and get no damage on it. It's just gonna die immediately.
I think it will. It should
More
go
health.
along with that weak medevac, so at least they both be useless.
Why are you so cruel? He escaped the jaws of death, and this is how you treat him? This is a veteran zombie grub. Do you treat real life veterans like this?
Do you know how Americans treat their veterans?
Well, from the media, really, really, really shitty.
Yeah, a little bit. So I'm just fitting a stereotype, apparently.
Okay, well, the Marines here will actually catch a lot of this off guard. Those tanks will get some good shots. Weak tank did have 3 kills on it. Oh, to 4, so it actually got a kill.
Hey!
Beast mode. Other side of the map, though, despite having a turret and a Viking, Reality doesn't have a lot in his base. He's got a decent amount of Marines bunked up here, so he could respond to a drop, but he's not going to be on top of this right away. And, of course, his attention is elsewhere. Now, the best place for Reality to siege up is over here and start pressuring the base, but unfortunately, nothing's been built over there out of aLive, so not even able to take advantage of the terrain for Dusk Towers. Marines abandoned by their medevacs, so they actually don't have a lot of support. Kill 4 CVs, but middle of the map, driven back. Oh, did the weak tank live? It's still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The weak medevac didn't, though. Rip.
Rip. These Marines still getting some damage done. Nothing too critical. A small handful of workers have died for Reality so far. I think something we forgot to really talk about, too, though, his third base was down pretty quick this game, and his economy's been very strong for a very long time. But aLive finally, I guess, pays that back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Income
I mean,
graph,
aLive actually spikes up in the income advantage.
Yeah.
So he also is gonna have the faster 2-2, but I don't know if that's really gonna play a part. They both disengaged, so gonna have some time before they decide to attack each other again. Reality's army positioning just looks really odd.
Yeah. Drop some of the Marines. Actually kills the Viking, funny enough, on their way out. So that's like a nice suicide kill, I guess. So, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Are you able to see our viewer count on Twitch?
It's stuck for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been refreshing Team Liquid periodically to see. I actually have no idea whether we have a lot or very little viewers. Not that it matters, but because I know people were discussing the numbers specifically earlier. And
Well, because Twitch is breaking.
right, so that's what I was saying. Like I saw this report and I wasn't sure if it was just me. So that's a little unfortunate. Luckily, I am, for like the rare time ever, local recording this. So if things do fully and utterly break, we will be able to re-show the entire show later. Fingers crossed. Anyways, looking around the map. Oh man, Smelly Pickle and Chance tell me not to eat at Popeyes. You don't understand, man. You don't understand.
You don't understand my life. You don't know me.
Zombie-Go's been with me through this, and she barely can understand. Okay, like Popeyes is a big deal to me.
I just we got it once, and you just.
This planetary gets wrecked by Marines. That doesn't normally happen. These medevacs forgot their Marines, by the way.
They're not very good moms. You're forgetting something? Maybe.
You guys are the worst drop of all time. Tank at home is not that high of a count, but it's enough to keep aLive back. And Reality being up a base now is just going to further get him ahead in this game. But despite this army supply lead, we've talked about this many a times, TvT does have a lot of comeback potential, and while aLive is temporarily not looking so hot, it's hardly the end of the game. I do love Reality's tanks, though, and I gotta say, I'm gonna be so heartbroken if they nerf this, if they take tank drops away from the game. But coming in for the fight, Stim's not looking too bad for Reality. Takes a good start to this. Marines and tanks just shelling away at each other, and everyone loses their cannon fodder.
I guess you can say that's Reality. Like, yeah, okay, Reality definitely takes a better fight. He has such a big reinforcement line that is coming from behind. He's going to be able to sandwich aLive here, and aLive doesn't matter that he has faster upgrades. In fact, +2 vehicle weapons about to finish up for his limited number of tanks, but he's setting up the sandwich. Gonna be good.
Yeah, drops those tanks forward. They could have taken a shot, but the Marines soaked those hits instead. That one tank is still alive and up to 12 kills, by the way. I just want to throw that out there. I actually think, at this rate, it might live to the end of the game. 14 kills on this unkillable bastard, protected by 5 of his friends. I don't even care about who wins this game anymore. I just do not want that tank to die before this game is all over.
What will you do? Will you wail? Or just be like, no?
Well, I'll Darth Vader no. Like,
good.
3-3 is going to finish here in a moment for Reality. Or sorry, excuse me, for aLive. But he's down to half the army supply. That one tank. Oh, come on, buddy. He does it! He lives! GG! Oh, best